Turning to the election now, and education has become a key policy battleground. So much so, parents and teachers are protesting across London this evening over the issue of funding. All the main political parties are promising more money. Is it enough? A series of eye-catching policies have also been announced to try and improve the life chances of the most disadvantaged pupils. Our education reporter Mark Ashdown has been looking at what impact they might have.
Good morning. It's Monday, September the 5th, 2021. I'm Will Schindler. London's news at 9 o'clock. For the first time ever, an equal number of pupils from disadvantaged backgrounds are starting at university at the same time as their better-off classmates.
Now that is an education policymaker's dream. But back to today's reality, and for too many pupils, the idea of studying in a place like this, Oxford, is just that, a faraway, distant dream. So how can the next government change things? Sarah, Danya and Josh are pioneers of sorts. Pupils from their areas of London have historically never really aspired to top universities.
I was one of the first people in my school to ever even get through to the interview and then get the offer.
Me being here symbolises, just rising up from any disadvantages that I may have faced in my school and in that area.
I was actually one of two people who actually for the first time been admitted into Oxford from my school, Kingsdale. So it was very much, when the email came through, it was more of a whole school celebration.
So what opened their eyes to the possibilities?
I was very much an average student, underachieving. It took teachers. It really did take teachers.
The manifestos are full of big education policies. The Conservatives believe grammar schools will help boost social mobility. They'll also scrap universal free school meals, but offer a breakfast instead. Labour wants to keep free school meals and would abolish tuition fees, while the Lib Dems would also keep free meals and wants to triple pupil premium funding.
I wouldn't have necessarily gone to a grammar school, and if the talent at my school had been sucked up by a grammar school, I don't know whether I would have had people that I could have looked up to.
You get the criticism that grammar schools meant for working class kids to get better opportunities, better resources, now goes to people that can afford so much tuition from the ages of 5 and 6. So I think that if they overhauled that whole testing system.
I think tuition fees are problematic. You're just saddling young people with more and more debt than is necessary. So I think that even if the tuition fee system is not revised, then I think the maintenance grant loan system definitely has to be, because it's a massive barrier.
These three are working hard towards their degrees. After the election, the hard work to inspire more pupils begins.
So Mark, clearly lots of issues around education, and parents today making their feelings clear on funding.
That's right. Selection will be a big debate over the next 5 or so years, but right now funding is the big issue. Schools, especially here in London, feel they're being squeezed, expected to pay for more with budgets frozen. So already we're seeing parent power evident over the past few weeks. Protests like this one in East London have been springing up, and public meetings too. They're well organised, they're well attended with parents and teachers, and they're all saying similar things.
The cuts have already affected our school, and the fact that the resources, the teachers already find it difficult to resource the school.
The less funding that we have actually stops the children from being able to achieve what they need.
So now in primary school it's not getting funded. What if I get to my secondary school and it's even worse?
Yes, I've also been talking to head teachers at their annual conference a few weeks ago. They're, of course, also worried about funding. But in particular, this new fair funding formula the Conservatives want to bring in, that theoretically would benefit rural schools at the expense of inner cities. And, of course, that other big issue is recruitment. Doesn't matter what type of school it is, everyone says you need to train and keep the very best teachers.
An absolute priority for any government coming in would be to make sure that we sort out the teacher recruitment and retention crisis, and we really invest in our teachers, professional development, so that they are absolutely all good teachers. And then not only children from deprived backgrounds are doing better, every child's doing better.
Of course, it always seems to come down to money.
Well, it does, and there are some big figures in the manifestos as well. The Conservatives are pledging an extra £4 billion over the next Parliament for schools. Labour and the Lib Dems say that's nothing like enough when you bring inflation into effect. So they say £6 billion and £7 billion respectively. So some big sums here, some big issues, and of course, as we saw there, parents and teachers, well, they've already mobilised to make sure schools don't miss out.
OK. Mark, thanks very much. Our education reporter, Mark Ashdown.